Welcome to Muscle Maintenance with InShape Fitness. I'm Coach Kim, and today's podcast is an exercise regimen, and I'm calling it Back of the Chair Workout. A lot of requests that I get come from people that want to do a little bit of an exercise session at work or while they're doing something else, or sort of maybe making up for the fact that they had to skip a workout because they had to make a meeting or they were late getting home or whatever. So this session is literally exercises that you're going to do using the back of your chair. It could be your desk chair. Hopefully it's a stable chair. A chair on rollers makes it a little more complicated. So try to find a chair that is stable. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a high back, but you don't want to have to strain to, like sort of too low or too high with your hand placement. Using the back of a chair, or honestly, it could be even the back of the edge of a desk. This is a sort of ballet bar kind of focused set of exercises that are going to focus in on your hip ancillary strength through the smaller muscles of your butt, your hips, and your legs, obviously, a little bit of core work, and a lot of postural awareness and just general stability in terms of how your feet and the muscles that are small that stabilize up through your ankles, your lower legs, your knees, the joints, obviously, that are in the lower part of your body, and then in, of course, the top part of your legs, that complicated set of symphonic set of movements that regulate and help you ambulate through your everyday motions. You sit on your butt most of the day. If you're at a desk, we understand that here at InShape Fitness, but you do want to stand up periodically, and this is a really good sort of 12 to 15 minutes worth of time where you can spend strengthening all of those things that I just said, basically your posture, your core, and your lower core specifically, and of course your legs, including the back of the leg, which is where we're going to begin. But first, we're going to start with a postural systems check, and it means that you're just going to stand up. And if you have shoes on your feet and you're at your desk, it's okay for you to take off your shoes. That's a good thing, because you want to be barefoot so that you can make contact with your floor and have a real sense of understanding, an awareness level, a boost of your awareness level in terms of how you make contact with your floor. Which parts of your feet are touching the floor, pressing into the floor to stabilize your body, and thus sort of equilibrating both sides of your body. So you stand up really tall. Your hands can be on the back of your chair or the edge of your desk or table, and then you make sure that you're facing forward. You want your ears and your shoulders to line up vertically. When you crane your neck, or because you're steering in a car, or because you're typing and you're sort of trying to get closer to the screen, your head cranes forward. That destabilizes your body. It actually moves your center of gravity because your head is heavy. It's sort of strange to think about it this way, but if you picked up a medicine ball that weighed about 10 pounds and held it in your hands for a minute, maybe even less than that, it would begin to feel really, really heavy to your arms. That's how much your head weighs. In fact, it might actually weigh a little bit more than 10 pounds, like 11 pounds is about the average. And it sits on your spindly neck, all day long. And so if your head is craning forward such that you're pulling on the back muscles of your neck, you're collapsing the front of your neck, your throat, and the muscles that reside in the front of your neck, and then collapsing at your chest because you're typing, you're creating a lot of strange, like sort of stretchy parts, soft tissues, ligaments and tendons, and the muscles that are in charge of maintaining your stability. So you want your ears to be lined up with your shoulders so that your head is on straight, literally, not just figuratively. All right. And then you want to make sure that your chest is open. Take a couple of deep breaths. Inhale deeply through your nose. I talk about why this is important ad nauseum. I apologize if I sound like a broken record, but when you inhale through your nose, you filter the air coming into your body through receptors that live inside of your nose and that signal to your brain, to your central nervous system, I'm in control, I am at peace, or at least trying to be at peace, and you don't need to shoot stress hormones that activate the body the way that your body reacts to mouth breathing. So if you're a mouth breather, you want to try to evolve yourself away from that by inhaling through your nose deeply, and then you can exhale through your mouth if you like. And then zip up your tummy muscles, and then with your lower body, we're going to start working it here. So things are going to start changing quite quickly. But when you are just standing with your feet shoulder width apart, you want to make sure that your hips, your knees, and your ankles line up, and then make sure that you are pressing into the floor with all four corners of both of your feet. If you are right-handed, your right leg is probably dominant, and therefore your right leg may normally absorb a little more of your body weight's pressure than your left leg. It has lots of interesting consequences. I'm not going to get into them right at this moment, but it is just important for you to think about both legs and to press into the floor with all four corners of both of your feet. All right, so let's start with the first exercise. Really, really, really simple one. All you're going to do is lift up your heels and lower your heels down. So just lift up your heels, lower your heels down. By the way, so we're going to, starting right now, we're going to do about 2 minutes worth of two-legged work, and then we're going to do 3 minutes of work on each of your legs. And then at the end, we're going to repeat some of the exercises on the individual legs so that we can go back through the exercises again. However, what I want you to think about doing as we're proceeding here, number one is to breathe deeply. Number two is to acknowledge that this is not a boot camp sort of style workout. This is not heavily focused on super aerobic activity, high impact type of work. It is meant to be an energy booster. It's meant to be a stabilizer. It's meant to be a metabolic trigger. And you're just meant to be able to stand up, get off your butt, and stand up and do something as close to your desk as you possibly can. You can still take a phone call. You can still read something on your screen. Okay, so you're lifting up your heels, you're lowering down. Now, what I want you to do is to bring the heels together to touch and to turn your toes out, pretending that you are a ballerina. You're going to channel your inner ballerina here. So you're almost in first position, though that might be difficult for you to do because of various components of, like range of motion, flexibility through your hips, etc. But you're going to continue just lifting up your heels and lowering down, only this time with this slightly different foot position. Heels touch, toes turn out to the extent that they can. You should feel your inner thighs a little bit now. Wow, you have inner thigh muscles. And guess what? They're there. They are sad because they are not used nearly enough in regular life. Certainly when you're sitting down, but even when you might, kind of do the thing that you're supposed to do and go sit on a bicycle in your gym a couple times a week or go for a jog, your inner thighs are still not really getting any of the work that they need to get in to stay strong and help stabilize your hips and the function of your legs. So let's continue now with the next exercise, which is to do a little bit of a toe lift and then toes down. So we did heels up, heels down, then first position, heels up, heels down. Now your feet are straight again, but you're going to lift up your toes and lower your toes down. You should feel your shin, the front of your lower leg, contracting and neutralizing, contracting and then neutralizing again. All right, just a couple more of these. And these are just sort of, you can do a little bit of a shake at the end of this, which is going to be in about 5 more seconds. Just sort of bend the knee, straighten the leg, bend, straighten, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg. And now we're going to start working on the individual legs. So for the next 3 minutes, what I want you to do is think about your right leg being a stabilizer. Your left leg is going to do some moving. The first move is simply a back of the leg curl. You're going to bring the left heel towards the left butt, curling the back of the leg, activating the hamstring. So bend the knee and then straighten your leg. Put your foot back down. Just bend the knee and straighten the leg back down. You might think to yourself, there's no weight attached to my ankle. There's nothing to do here. But just continue to bend and straighten that left leg for a couple more seconds. Okay, good. Now what I want you to do is to take a step back with your left foot, way back, and you're going to bend the right knee. So it's sort of a reverse lunge where the right leg stays stable, but you are going to bend the right knee and stick your butt out a little bit, and then you take that big step back with your left leg. Now, we're not bending the left leg yet, so it's only a partial lunge. It's kind of like a little bit of sort of an introduction maybe to a curtsy. So you're just stepping back and then stepping forward, stepping back and stepping forward. Really, really simple. We're just past the 1 minute mark here. Now, if you can, take that big step back with your left leg and go ahead and bend both knees to a right angle. So it's the full reverse lunge with the right leg being stable, left leg moving. Let's do a couple more of those, and then we're going to go into a side lunge. Okay, good. Now for the next few seconds, what we're going to do now is you're still moving the left leg, but you're going to step out to the left side with the left leg, still bending the right knee a little bit. So you're getting some work on the right side, right? But you're extending the left leg straight out. Do not turn out your toes. You want to keep the left foot straight as you step out to the side. And bend the right knee, stick the butt out as you lower your body down, and then come back up to the center point again. And then step back out again with your left leg, just past the 2 minute mark. And a couple more seconds. We'll go 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. The last thing are kicks. Okay, for the last minute here, we're going to go with a lift up the left knee out to the side and then kick out the left lower leg. So left knee up, flex the left foot, and then kick out the left lower leg. So it's like a side winder kickboxing kick. All right, a couple more seconds. Try to do 5 more, and then we've reached that 3 minute mark of work, stabilizing the right leg and moving the left leg. We're going to switch to the other side. Before we switch to the other side, I want you to shake out your legs a little bit. You should feel some interesting fatigue, maybe just increased blood flow depending on your fitness level, but you should definitely feel the left leg having moved a little bit, and maybe the left butt cheek, a little bit of sort of activated tissue. Now stabilize your left leg. I want to move on. The first thing we're going to do, just like with before, you're going to bend the right leg and try to get the right heel to touch the butt on the right side. So you're just bending the knee, straightening the leg for about 30 seconds. Bend the knee and straighten the leg. Now, it should feel funky because your left leg is stabilizing, but the left leg has had some work, and so you gotta deal with that issue, right? But your right leg is bending and then straightening. Now you're gonna take that step back with the right foot, bending the left knee, but not bending the right knee yet. All right, so you're just sort of that partial lunge, the step back, as though you might kind of pick something up, or if you might like have to bend over for kind of a curtsy, but you're taking the step back with the right leg. The left leg does not move except to bend the knee and lower the body a little bit down. Now, if you're ready, go ahead and complete the reverse lunge with the left leg remaining stable. The right leg steps back. You keep both feet pointed forward. You bend both knees to 90 degrees. So this is a little bit harder, obviously. And then we're going to do that side lunge in just a couple of seconds. We're about halfway through the 3 minutes here. A couple more. Finish one more lunge, reverse lunge. All right, now we're going to start stepping out to the side with the right foot. So remember, as you step out to the side with the right foot, your right foot stays straight. Your left foot is still straight as well. You bend the left knee still. So you're getting some good sort of single leg squat type of work in, where you lower the body straight down with the left knee, but your right leg extends out straight. So you should feel that right inner thigh, and then you bring the leg back in. All right, complete that again. We're going to do a few of these, and then we've got those last side kicks. Again, try to remember to keep your posture in check. You keep your belly button pulled in. You keep your back straight. If you're leaned over too much, obviously then you are contracting your hip flexors. So this is a really important thing that I teach runners that I talk to. Now let's go ahead, by the way, I'll go back to that thought in 1 second, but let's start with those sidewinder kickboxing kicks. So the right knee comes up and out to the side, and then you flex the right foot and kick with the lower leg. Runners, recreational runners in particular, once they get tired, they lean forward at the waist, and that lean forward through the hips and waist causes the hip flexor to contract, which means that it doesn't have its proper kinetic power, its stability. And so if you are standing up real tall and you're trying to kind of provide your body with that energy jolt to trigger your metabolism, to keep yourself in check in terms of the amount of maintenance work that needs to go into a healthy body, and then your mechanics are wrong because you're bent forward, then you're not necessarily stabilizing and activating the right muscles at the right time. So that's really, really important to keep your back straight, your pelvis straight, and your belly button pulled in. Okay, now let's shake out the legs again because we are back to 2 legs. I want to make sure that we do just a couple more exercises, and then I'm going to let you go here in just a few minutes. Now, turn those toes out one more time. Bring your heels together. So we're going back to this first position of the ballerina stance. Notice I'm really, really focused on some of the small muscles in your legs. When we were doing those sidewinder kicks, we were really focused on the outside of the leg. The tensor fasciae latae and the gluteus medius are muscles that reside at the top part of the leg, but on the side. And they also don't get nearly enough action in regular mechanical daily functional life because we either sit or we walk forward or sometimes jog or bicycle forward. But the inner thighs and the outer thighs are really, really desperate for your attention. So we're going to work those inner thighs again. Now you're going to lift up your heels, but when you lower your heels back down, I want you to go into a demi-plie. So you bend your knees out to the side and you keep your back really straight, your belly button pulled in, but you lower the body straight down, channeling that inner Baryshnikov once again. And then lift back up, lift up your heels, lower your heels back down, and then lower the body. So if that's too much, if there are too many moving parts to this exercise, it is a demi-plie, then don't worry about the heel lift. Just bend your knees and lower the body down, and then lift back up. Another 10 seconds or so. Okay. Now what I want you to do is to, hopefully you have enough room for this. If you need to turn to the side, I get why. What I want you to do next is to go back to the right leg being stable, and you're just going to lift up the left heel toward your left butt. Grab with your left hand. You want to keep both knees right next to each other, but we're going to stretch the left quadricep right now. Very good. Count to 10 as you're taking these deep breaths. You are counting to 10 so that you really get a good stretch of your quad. When you're finished, cross the left ankle over the right thigh and then try to sit down into an imaginary chair, holding on to the back of your stable chair or table, and then you get a little bit of the right butt stretch. You can also sit in a chair and do the same stretch. Okay, now let's switch legs to finish up. Your left leg is stable. You're going to grab with your hand the ankle of your right foot and pull back, keeping the knees right next to each other. Bend the knee and pull the heel as close to the butt as you possibly can so that you feel that stretch of your quadricep on the right side. Again, if you're right-handed, it's going to be tighter on the right side probably than on your left. Either way, lots of different individualized sort of quirks about flexibility and tension. So if you have questions, send me a note through the Spreaker app or iHeartRadio or bodybyInShape.com, which is the fastest way to get in touch with me and my team at bodybyInShape.com. We will happily give you a quick consult for in terms of your own questions, your own sort of mechanics. Totally gratis, completely complimentary. Now you cross that right ankle over the left thigh, and the last stretch is for the left butt cheek. I'm Coach Kim from InShape Fitness. Please take good care of yourself. You've got to do something every single day. Do not let people tell you that you only need to go to the gym a couple times a week. You don't need to go to the gym any times of the week, but you do need to move every single day, and we are the team to help you put together the programming that will help make sure that you maximize your understanding of your functional requirements and your body's functional needs, and can do so without any of the equipment that you think you need at this moment. So let me know if you need any help. Again, it's bodybyInShape.com. Have a great day.